Hey friends, welcome back to another proper video of JN Tech after months, and today we are going to do something a little bit different, just like always. I am going to be reacting to my buddy's video. Today we are going to be reacting to a video from Krystian Stankiewicz. If you don't know who he is one of my friends from the internet. And he made this very interesting video about hot takes, and well, today we are going to react to it. The video is titled My Hot Takes. Let's go ahead. Okay, 1, 2, 3, start.
So today I'm going to talk about my hot takes. Let's see. There are going to be 4 hot takes, and some of them you can consider some of them you can consider them as a hot takes, and probably some of them you may not. I was really considering putting more than 4, but when I was thinking about it, like for me there weren't even hot takes. Yeah, comment section is yours. If you want to talk with me about these hot takes, the comments are yours, right? So yeah, let's go to the video right now. Well, sorry for interrupting you. If you don't know me, my name is Krystian. I'm just a normal guy who wants to improve. Subscribe, like, comment, share. You know the drill. Right, let's go to the video.
Okay, so just like he said, you got his introduction. His name is Krystian. He has a great channel. Do everything he says. Well, if you want to support him, that is. Well, I probably do. But let's continue, shall we? Go.
Right now. So we're starting out with a very hot take. Oh my boy, I'm gonna get cancelled for this. Jesus Christ. So my first take is...
Okay. Don't worry if you're gonna get cancelled, because I am probably going to censor a lot of stuff in my videos, because when I create videos on my channel, I really think about the topic of cancellation and how whole YouTube channels vanish from the internet. That's why I'm going to try to censor as much as your video as much as possible, as much as I can. So sensitive words, I'm going to censor them out. Okay, let's start.
I don't respect people who commit.
Wow.
Before I'm gonna talk about this more, disclaimer.
We are jumping into the deep end right here with the first hot take, and he already drops a bomb on me. And if you don't know why this topic of committing, rather you should respect the people who commit or not. The thing is, the reason why this topic is so sensitive to me is that earlier on in my life, when I was a little kid, I did suffer from clinical depression, and it was bad to the point where I actually tried to unalive myself. I won't go too much into detail, but it involved a cable wire around my neck, but thankfully, thanks to God, it snapped, and I fell, I think 1 or 2 feet from the ceiling, and I hit my head against a piece of furniture, and I fell unconscious. And I dropped, and I stayed in that unconscious state, laying on the ground for almost an hour. And you know what the most hurting part about that whole story is? Is that when I fell onto the ground unconscious, nobody came to check up on me, even my own mother. Now, if you guys don't know, when I was a little kid, I grew up in a dysfunctional family, where I used to live with my mother and my grandmother, and my father used to live separately. And well, my family wasn't only dysfunctional on the mother's side, but it was also very, very abusive. And so my mother used to call me such horrible things and such dirty stuff, and I cannot even tell you about it. So my mother used to treat me in a way that one day I decided to just end it all, and I placed a cable wire around my neck, and I decided to unalive myself. But thanks to God, the wire snapped after a minute or so when I was already dozing off, and I fell onto the ground, hit my head onto the piece of furniture, and I fell unconscious. Nobody came to check up on me, and when I woke up, I realized that thought came into my mind like, what the fuck am I doing? I am dying for those type of people who do not give a fuck about me. I know I'm talking about my own family. Nonetheless, I'm talking about my own mother here, but I was literally taking my own life for such type of people. Now, I believe that the people who commit, most of those people commit suicide because they get hurt by the people who they love. And it's really not that much about onto the wealth side of the story, or the business side of the story or the financial side of the story. It is more onto the emotional side of the story, where people take their own lives. They get hurt so much by their own people who they loved, that they feel worthless, and they commit suicide. They end up unaliving themselves because they felt so unworthy of the love they were giving to other people. I hope you guys are understanding my point, because I felt the same about my mother and my mother's family, and I decided to unalive myself. But thankfully, God saved me, and then I realized that I was killing myself for people who didn't even deserve my love in the first place. Killing yourself is like saying to your enemies that I have surrendered. You people are the strong ones, and I have surrendered, thus I'm killing myself. So that's my story about unaliving myself and what I learned about it. Now that I look at myself back then, by the way, when I tried to myself, I was only 12 years old, so I got into depression very early because of my dysfunctional family. But now that I realize how stupid I was killing myself for people who didn't even love me in the first place. So unaliving yourself is a stupid decision. Okay, you're unaliving yourself. You clearly don't respect yourself. I also not used to respect myself back when I was 12. Yourself for those people who do not even give a fuck about you. That's the most stupidest thing a person can ever do in their life. Anyways, that was my story, or my opinion on and because I have committed to commit, myself back when I was only 12 years old. This is my opinion, and this is my thought on and the people who commit suicide now. I personally think it's stupid. I won't say that I don't respect the people who commit suicide, but at the same time I say that it's really stupid to kill yourself for people who do not give a fuck about you. Like, really, you're ending your own life for people who are not even gonna care in the first place. What are you doing? Respect yourself. Learn to respect yourself for who you are. Anyways, let's continue with the video. Go.
Of course, if I only have sympathy for like the human being, like for Homo sapien, right? Yeah, I'm sad that another human lost its life. I'm not sad like for an individual person. Like,
humans,
I don't give a fuck that, I don't know, some Mark whom I don't even know killed himself. If I would care about every person who dies every day, I would genuinely go insane.
True. If I started giving a fuck about every person who killed themselves in every part of the world, I would go insane myself. I would need antidepressants, and even that wouldn't work. And maybe I would go so crazy that even I would unalive myself. That's a true and funny paradox right there. Anyways, let's go.
If you killed yourself, you clearly did not value and respected your life. Bro, even...
There we have it. He said it. If you kill yourself, you do not respect yourself. You do not respect your own life. You do not respect the life that God gave to you. And this is exactly what I did when I was 12 years old. And it was so stupid now that I think about it. I was taking my own life, my one single life that God gave me as a blessing, for people who didn't even love me in the first place. And I'm talking about my own family here, but here's the thing. Even if it's your own family, they can be full of bastards and bitches. Even if it's your own family, bad people are everywhere, and they can be in your own family. Just because that they are your family doesn't mean that they can't be full of bastards and bitches. You see, I was killing myself for people who didn't give a fuck about me in the first place. And I was a child. I used to do my chores, I used to provide, I used to do everything. Well, not provide financially, but I used to do everything. I used to give my mother as much love as possible. Despite all that, she refused to treat me like her own son, and that really broke me. And, I decided to kill myself. I decided to unalive myself. However, though, now that I look back at it, I think it's really stupid to yourself to take away the blessing of life that God gave to you for people who do not even give a fuck about you in the first place. That's just clearly dumb. And I do kind of respect people who commit suicide, but at the same time, I think that they made an extremely stupid decision to do that. Because not only you are just disregarding the fact that God made you and God gave you life as a blessing, you are also disregarding the fact that you are a person yourself and you matter. I hope you're getting me, what I'm trying to say here, but at the same time, I kind of respect people who commit suicide. because what they went through, but at the same time they're kind of stupid. I think that they are kind of stupid for doing that in the first place, and I can say that because I tried to myself, I tried to commit myself, so I can say that about
my lowest
people.
From 2020 to
Let's
2022.
move on. Okay.
I remember when couple of like the suicidal thoughts were coming through my head, right, through my mind, but as I said, even at my lowest, I knew that I only have one life.
Yup.
And if I would have done that, if I would kill myself,
Yeah.
I wouldn't came back. And besides,
Okay, nobody's coming back. You aren't Jesus. You're not going to get resurrected. You only have one life that God gave to you as a blessing. You're not Jesus of Nazareth. You're not going to come back. Okay, let's continue.
it was about the people who cared about me, right? My family, whatever. My mom would be sad, right? If I would kill myself in
Of
this
course.
time span, 2020 to 2022. As I said, those thoughts weren't like they weren't really that tough, but they were there. Every reason to
Yeah,
unalive yourself
exactly.
is stupid. People who kill themselves
Exactly.
don't value life. If you would give your life to any other person, maybe to person who watches this, they wouldn't kill themselves. When you start to appreciate and improve your life, those suicidal thoughts are gonna be gone. Of course, go for help if you have those suicidal thoughts, right? For example, I'm gonna give. So you may say, but Christian, so if a person who wants to kill himself would come to you, and he would ask for help, would you?
You will
would
try to
reject
stop
him?
them
Of course, I
from
would
killing
not reject
themselves.
him. If a person who wants to kill himself would came to me for asking for advice, of course I would fucking help. But I would not help just because but I would not help him like as a fucking like. Let's say with this Mark guy, right? If Mark Johnson would came to me and say he wants
Mark
to kill himself and ask me for advice, of course I would help him. But I don't give a crap about him because I don't know him, right? I would help him because I don't want another human life to be gone. If I would knew this Mark Johnson earlier in my life, of course I would help him just because he's my friend and he's a human being. If I would develop a further relationship, if I would become friends with this Mark Johnson guy, of course this would also become a reason why I don't want him to kill himself. It's really sad that people are killing themselves. I really do understand, but it's hard for me to respect those people.
Let's stop for a moment. Now, I respect the people who kind of, take their own lives. Now, I respect those people for what they went through as a person, because unaliving yourself is a pretty big decision. It's nothing to laugh at. So I kind of respect those people themselves, but who unalive themselves. But at the same time, I think those people were extremely stupid to do so. It's like it's a contradiction within a contradiction. Like, I respect those type of people, but at the same time I do not respect those type of people. I think that they are stupid, and their decision to kill themselves were stupid. Now, when I look back at myself at 12 years old, when I was 12 years old, I think that I was extremely stupid to kill myself for people like that, for people like my own family. I accept that they were my own family, but at the same time they were terrible people who didn't give a fuck about me, and I was myself for those type of people. So yeah, I was stupid as fuck when I was 12. God has given me a life, and it's a blessing for me. And I'm blessed to have a life. I'm blessed to have all 10 fingers. I'm blessed to have my eyesight. I'm blessed to have a mouth that I can speak with. And I'm blessed to move around. But now that I look at my old 12-year-old self, and I try to actually take my own, to off myself, I think that I was extremely stupid. So the people who kill themselves, I kind of respect them, but at the same time, I think that they were pretty stupid to kill themselves in the first place. Let's continue.
It's gonna sound cliche, but it's gonna sound, your parents probably told you this many times.
Yeah.
But listen, people have worse. You know how many times my mom and my grandma told me this, but if you think that your life is shit, that it can get worse. Look at the people in the poorest region of the world, in the favelas.
Think about Palestine right now, okay? Now, I know this is another very sensitive topic, but at the same time, think about the Palestinian children, or Afghanistan, the Afghani children, where they have to work their asses off in child labor just to put some food on the table. And most of the time, that food is rotten. Like, think about the children in Palestine, in Afghanistan, and even in Pakistan, my own home country. Like, I am living in luxury right now. I have a microphone in front of me, a nice expensive one. I had these 2 keyboards on my side, one Yamaha and one Casio. Like, I am living in luxury, and thank God, thank the one above who gave me everything. But at the same time, there are people who are struggling to even eat food. And on top of that, you go ahead and you decide to kill yourself. That means that you just disregarded each and every single blessing God has ever given to you.
Brazil,
So yeah,
in countries who are
people who
tormented by
commit
war.
are kind of
Do
stupid.
you think that people from third world countries have suicidal thoughts? Well,
Yes,
probably some of them.
they do.
But listen, if I were to put you in World War II in 1943,
Oh no.
in war-torn
No.
Poland,
Anywhere but not Poland.
and you would have to survive.
Anywhere but not Poland. Please. Imagine you were just sitting there in the 1940s, you know, drinking a cup of coffee in the morning, and you suddenly hear you suddenly hear that. I'm not gonna go over that, otherwise I will get cancelled 100%. But anywhere but not Poland, please. Continue.
You wouldn't be thinking about yourself. This is true.
Yeah.
People became. I believe that people became too comfortable in today's world.
It's true.
Another thing
It's a
that
fact.
people are not grateful for the things that they have.
Yep.
The fact that you are here, the fact that you can watch this video, the fact that you are here
Yeah, of
in
course.
this world is already a blessing. You don't live in 1800s. You weren't born as a Native American in.
I'm glad I wasn't born in the 1940s as well, because in the late 1930s and 40s, the partition between India and Pakistan was taking place, and 1 million Muslims, and I don't even know how many Christians and Hindus died during that time period, during the partition. I'm glad I wasn't born in that time period, otherwise my life would be miserable. So let's continue.
1600s and 1500s, right? As I said earlier, you have computer, you have
Yeah.
internet, you have food right in front
I
of
have
your
an
fucking
expensive
nose.
microphone in right
You
in
have
front
war,
of
you
my
have hot
fucking
water.
nose.
You don't live in a country that is tormented
Okay.
by war. And you still fucking complain. I don't care if you went broke, your girlfriend broke up with you, or you lost everything. Whatever, you shouldn't be even thinking about yourself. History
Yeah.
showed us that we can
Exactly.
come back from everything. It's all about mindset. If you would have great mental health, if your mental health would be on point, you wouldn't be even thinking about killing yourself. You wouldn't even kill yourself. Stop doing the things that are killing your mental health. And again, if you would came to me, ask me for advice, you would tell me, Christian, I want to kill myself, what can I do to stop? Of course I would help you. Because I care about the human being. I don't care about you as a fucking Mark Johnson, right? But I care about you as a human being.
Who is this Mark
I would
Johnson
care
guy
about every single
that you
person in
keep
this world.
bringing
I
up
would go
in
insane.
your video? Of course you will try to stop that person who is trying to because you respect a human life and you do not want to see a human life go to waste, and I respect that a lot about you. Okay.
I hope I...
Yeah, you would.
Listen, you can argue with me about this in the comments, right? I really want this video to be... no, then we can argue about it, right? I really want to know your opinion about it. But yeah,
Okay,
let's go
now
to my...
I want to argue about it, but at the same time I can't, because these are some pretty... This is not a hot take. Well, it is a hot take, but at the same time, you showered your hot takes with a bunch of facts, so I can't really rationally debate about it on this, because it's a rational belief, and it's a right one too, because you represented it with such facts, and I agree with you as a person who tried to commit suicide himself. I agree with you in what you say, because you showered your hot take with a lot of facts, and most of them I agree with them. Now the thing is, I wouldn't say that I do not respect the people who commit suicide, because I do kind of respect the people who side, because well, they were there, they were a human life at one point, and they did suffer from something so bad that pushed them on the edge to themselves. But at the same time, I think that they are kind of stupid to do so. So I respect them. I respect them. I respect their struggle in life, whatever they went through. But at the same time, their decision of unaliving themselves, it's kind of hard to respect. You know, it's a stupid decision, and this is coming from a person who tried to commit himself, so I can say these things about people. Okay, next hot take from my buddy Christian. Let's go.
Second take. So, my second take. The second take is... Nobody owes
Okay,
you
let me
nothing.
pause for 1 minute. Well, actually, some people do owe me something. You know, my uncle or my mother's brother, he owns me a good amount of property, a good amount of share, because I'm a legal heir of that property. But he refused to do so because after the death of my mother, he confiscated that property. And again, it's a long story, and I hate my uncle. He's a fucking bastard. I hope he dies in a car crash. But he did a lot of notorious things. So actually, my uncle does owe me a good amount of money, a good amount of property. But at the same time, let's hear about what my buddy Christian has to say.
Nobody.
Let's go.
The world doesn't owe you anything. And your life doesn't owe you anything. In fact, you owe this world and your life of how shit
What?
you brought, of how many...
What? And your life of how shit you rub. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? This is a Christian household. You cannot speak things like that. And this is the internet. You're gonna get me cancelled. As if all the things I've said up till now are gonna get me cancelled in the first place. But you're gonna get me cancelled. And how shit you rub. Of how many... Fecking of how much shit you bought you. What is this statement? What is this statement? In your life of how you rub and how much you bought to yourself. Okay, let's just hear what my buddy Christian has to say. What is this statement?
Fucking of how shit you brought to yourself. If you want to have something in this life, nice physique, beautiful girl, great mental health, prospering business, whatever, it's not given. Nothing in this world is given to you unless you are a fucking beautiful woman.
Okay, I have seen some children on side of the road starving and people do not give a fuck about them. I have seen some beautiful women and people don't give a fuck about them. But purely because of the fact that they don't give a fuck about men in the first place. But I've seen some animals on the side of the road starving, and I actually rescued a kitten from the side of the road. And well, yeah, people do not give a fuck about them. The world is extremely cruel. It's just a hard fact that we all have to accept. Okay.
Child or an animal. If you're a man, nobody's fucking... If you're a guy, nobody's fucking given to you.
Okay, why are men so... being a man is hard. Who could have guessed?
Nothing is, and
Okay,
nothing will be given to you unless you put in the work. If you've been living your life like a fucking gremlin, you don't deserve a great physique, great woman, good mental health, prospering business, so on. If you're not putting the work, and you're gonna complain, then don't be surprised why your life is still shit. All it takes is hard reality check. Honestly, go and look yourself in the mirror right now. Pause this video and go.
I know I'm ugly, okay? I don't need to look at the mirror to derive the fact that I'm ugly. I'm just ugly, okay? I know I'm ugly, so I do not have to look in a mirror. When I look at the camera, it chatters, like literally. So I know I'm ugly, so I do not have to look in the mirror. So I get reality checks all the time. As a YouTuber, I get reality checks all the time. And I know I'm ugly. Like, look at my fucking face. I know I'm not beautiful. Well, actually, I have improved a lot over the years because I was even more ugly back in the day. But now my face is a bit more defined. And, you know, I've grown a lot of facial hair during that time period. And that facial hair actually looks good. It's actually shaped and stuff. But let's just... What the fuck am I talking about? Let's just continue on with the video.
Look yourself in the mirror right now and ask yourself, who made your life the way it is right now? Who made your life the way it is right now? You already know the answer,
proud of it.
But people just wanna inhale copium and put the blame onto someone else. It's my mom's fault that I'm fat. I'm not fat, I'm big boned. You know, you probably heard this shit.
What is big boned? Like big dick? I can understand. But oh shit. What is big boned? How do you become big boned? Like does your skeleton grow sideways or something like that? I know a lot of short people, if they eat too much food, they get fatter, but at the same time, what is big boned? It literally makes no sense. What is the meaning of big boned? And let me grab something real quick. Okay, I'm back.
Watching porn is okay, whatever, etc. Take the accountability and be the fucking man, honestly. Nobody owes you nothing. The world doesn't owe you nothing. You only have yourself. You only have yourself in this world. Yeah, people can help you, whatever, but if you want to have something, you only have yourself. Nothing is ever gonna be given to you. You would have to be a woman, a child, or an animal if you want to have something.
Bro, even some women and children do not get the stuff they deserve.
I do think that I deserve. This world is brutal, but it always has been brutal, and it will always be. After my death, after your
let's
death.
just stop right here. I remember when my mother passed away, so after her funeral, the pallbearers took her body, and her body literally just left the mosque, and people were talking about the taste of the food of the funeral that was given on the funeral, and I was sitting there like, what the hell? Like literally, my mother passed away, and you guys are talking about the taste of food? And how tasty it was, and how the rice wasn't properly cooked. That's what humanity has gone up to, and that's really sad. That's genuinely sad of what this world is. This world is becoming, and this is a cruel world out there. So you have, first of all, you have to protect yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. People won't stand up for yourself in the first place. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to learn to stand up for yourself and protect yourself against people. Only then you will be able to make some friends that might stand up for you if they are good friends. But first of all, you have to learn to survive yourself in this cruel world.
Still be brutal.
Let's continue.
Is this fair? No, but world has not been fair since its beginning. Honestly, for guys, the world has not been fair since the beginning of this world, since the humans, since our species was created, right? Since we evolved. So it was just suck it up and realize this. You're not a fucking woman, child, or an animal to have something given to you, or you deserve it because you are a man. You don't fucking deserve it. If you want to have something, you have to work for it. Honestly. So that was my second take.
It's not a take, it's a fact. I cannot argue to you on that.
So third take of this video, hot take, is you are not as important as you might think. Imagine yourself laying in your coffin at your funeral, right? You can hear everyone. Yeah, sure, people are crying and mourning you, whatever. But
okay, like I said to you, at my mother's funeral, people were talking about the taste of food. And this is what humanity has come to, sadly. So yeah, nobody gives a fuck about you. And especially if you don't give a fuck about yourself, other people are not going to give a fuck about you either.
But after the funeral ends,
and by the way,
maybe are going
I do not smoke often. I smoke this occasionally. And I think today the weather is very nice. I just, wanted to just treat myself a little bit of poison. Because we are all dying in the first place if you think about it. But hey, I've improved a lot when it comes to addictions and as a person. And I might make a video about it too. So I am quitting on this, but at the same time, let's just fuck it for some good amount of time.
Care about you for about a week, and then maybe you're gonna be brought spontaneously when people are going to talk about you, right? People listen. And this was problem with me, right? People genuinely don't have time to care about you.
It's a fact.
People have their problems, which for them are more important than your person. I'm sorry, but it's true. Couple of hours after the funeral, people are gonna come back to their regular duties. Realize this. People have their taxes to pay, jobs to work, kids to take care of, whatever.
Bro.
If you, for example, think
let's stop for a minute. I don't even remember people's names most of the time when I meet them. And I don't even know that you know my name. Because, well, we are chatting for so long. By the way, my name is Jinnah. Jinnah. And you can call me Ahmed or Aaron. It doesn't really matter. But my first name is Jinnah. And I might give you some of my own hot takes. And I might ask you to react to them on your channel. Because I have some good amount of hot takes myself. I make a video about it myself. But at the same time, yep, that's my name. My name's Jinnah, if you don't know. Let's continue with the video.
Remember the thing that you did in school 10 years ago, you didn't see your backpack and you trip off, and people were laughing. You're a fucking moron if you think that people still remember this. I don't know how much this thing had to be embarrassing for people to remember after all this period of time. People have the memory of the goldfish.
In this cruel world, yep.
We are egoistical by nature. We care about ourselves. And nothing's wrong with that. Yes, we have families, but your first priority should be you. You should be caring about yourself first. We are egoistical by nature.
Okay, like I said, when I was 12, I tried to unalive myself, and I laid there unconscious for an hour, and even my mother didn't come up on to check on me. And that was a hard reality check if you think about it. My own goddamn mother came up to check up on me, and that's a big reality check if you ask me. And that's when I realized that I was killing myself for the wrong people, and that's when I realized that killing myself in the first place is a very dumb decision. And smoking a pipe is also a very dumb decision, but at the same time I'm trying to quit on this, and I've made a good progress.
We care about ourselves. If you are by yourself, of course you're gonna care about yourself.
Yep.
If you would die right now, yes, people would be sad, but they would come back to their regular duties. Do the things that you want to do. Because if you're gonna die, you're going to regret that you didn't start this business, that you didn't cold approach this girl, that you didn't build this physique, whatever. You're going to regret it. And I don't want you to lay on your deathbed and regret it. I want your life to be fulfilled. I want my life to be fulfilled. I don't want to have any situation in my life that I regret something. So, I think I said everything. Let's go to the fourth take. So the fourth take is, it's better to spend time alone than with your fucking bum-ass friends. You are the...
Okay. First of all, I do not have many friends, okay? Like, in my own neighborhood, I have 0 friends. Now, I stay mostly in my apartment, and when I go out, I do not talk to boys my age much, because they have a completely different way of thinking than me. All they think about is sex. Just girls in general, and trying to make that sweet cash, and I have nothing, and there's nothing wrong about it, but at the same time, just my level of thought just doesn't match with them really well. And I have you as my friend, that I do not talk to my own people here that much, but I talk to you because I actually agree with you on most of the things, and I do believe that you have a higher IQ than most people here my age. And here's the thing. If you want to make friends that actually make you go up in life, and friends that actually increase your knowledge, rather than making friends which are complete losers and idiots, and they drag you down to their levels of I don't even know what dumbass levels your friends can drag you down to, because I had some dumbass friends back in the day when I was in high school, and well, we drifted apart because, well, my way of thinking was different than theirs, and a time came where we drifted apart. We all have our different lives, and that's okay. We all have our differences when it comes to thinking. But the thing is, I do not have that many friends, because even when I make friends, most of my friends are older than me, a lot older than me. Because when I make friends that actually give me knowledge, give me some kind of knowledge in a line or in a category that I do not know about, so I can grow in life as a knowledgeable person. I do not make friends that are my age, and all they think about is sex and money. Let's continue with the video.
Average of 5 people you spend time with. You probably heard this many times. Show me your 5 friends, and I will instantly know who you're gonna become in the future.
I don't have 5 friends.
If your friends constantly go to parties, take drugs, drink, whatever, you're gonna do this eventually. Like, our willpower is not unlimited, right?
Okay. Well, willpower is created by your own mind. You know how many times my friend asked me to talk dirty with them? And I'm not gonna go into detail on that. But I refused. I ended my friendship with those type of people. But willpower is built. It is not given to you by God. You have to build your own willpower and push through stuff like that.
But if your friends are high quality, have great bodies, don't smoke, don't drink, work super hard, you're gonna eventually be like them if you're gonna meet with them every day, right?
Okay. The funny thing is, I'm the only one who used to smoke in my friend group, but I never used to smoke like in front of them. I always used to smoke in a private place, because I do not want to be a bad influence on my friends. Like, yeah, I'm not actually addicted. Like, yeah, I was addicted back in the day. I'm not that much addicted now. Like, I have a good amount of control on myself. But back in the day when I was going through depression, I was like fucking high on stuff, suicidal thoughts and stuff. I was a mess back then. Like, now that I look at myself, I really find myself in a really better place. When I look back at myself, I was in a very dark place, and I might even make a story about it. I released a song recently on my channel. I don't know if you saw it or not, but in that song I displayed the amount of depression I had back in the day. In the song you see me smoking and stuff. And this is the thing. I was in a dark place back then, but now I'm in a lot better place. I have built willpower on myself, and I built a good amount of self-control, and I'm proud of it. And I'm proud of it because I'm going into the right direction. Okay.
But it's bad. But if you don't have those friends, right? If you don't have those high quality friends, it's better to be alone than with some losers. Honestly, it's true. Upgrade your life and meet high quality people. Have friends that are pushing you to become the best version of yourself. I know that if you want to cut those losers, it's gonna be tough. But those scraps, those low quality friends, will drag you down the bucket. They would want to keep you there because when people see you, because when those scraps, those low quality people see you.
Never a truer word said, my brother. I remember back in the day when I was trying to improve myself, when I was working out, my friends actually dragged me into friends actually, there was gangs, there were bullies in my high school. And when I started working out, my friends deliberately caused me to fight with those gangs of bullies. And I fought those gangs. But my friends were the one who ratted me out to those gangs of bullies back in high school. And what I'm trying to say is that when I tried to improve myself, my friends back in the day got so jealous that they literally wanted me to get beaten up by bullies in high school back in the day. And I figured that out by the way they used to talk with me, and by the way they used to stutter while talking to me about what they were doing. So I just cut all ties. I literally ended my friendship with those friends. We were friends for about 2 to 3 years. I had only two friends, and they were losers. They were fucking losers. And I cut ties with them. And well, it was the best decision I could ever make in my whole fucking life. Apart than me not killing myself.
Getting out of this bucket, seeing you improve, they will want to drag you down. Because they're fucking jealous, and they don't want someone else to be better than them.
Okay, they are not friends. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. And that's the best way to describe people like that. They act like friends in front of your nose, but at the back, they fucking want you to plummet. They fucking want you to suffer and maybe even die. I don't even know. But I did have friends like that back in the day, and I'm glad that I left them behind. Okay.
Best solution, just to fucking cut them off.
Yep.
Only connection you had with those low quality people is with drugs, partying, doing degen stuff.
Degen stuff.
Be the person who influences others.
Sorry.
And not the one who is influenced by others. Let me say this again. Be the person who influences others, not the person who is influenced by others.
Did I influence you as a person? And how so? Okay, I'm going to give you a challenge. Make a video about me. Here's my name. If you don't want to make a video about me, that's fine. But at the same time, I really want you to make a video about me and what things you found in me that were good, and what things you found in me that were not so great. Because, well, I do have some habits that you might not like as a person who's growing and who's working out. Because I do work out, but I do not post it on the internet because, well, my home, my family, my father's side, my father doesn't like that I post pictures of myself without clothes on. But I do work out. I have my weights right at the corner behind the camera. But at the same time, I still have some habits that I'm working on to improve. And the thing in my mouth is one of those habits, so yeah. I want you to make a video about me. How did I influence you as a friend from the internet? Because I never met you in the first place in real life. I want you to make a video about me on how I influenced you as a person from the internet, and what things you found in me that were good, and what things you found that were not so good about me. And let's continue.
So I actually had a fifth take to say. So let's go to
we have a bonus take
right now. Take, and the final here is respect is earned. It's not fucking given. I'm tired of people saying this. Oh, respect is given. You have to have respect for others. Yes, of course, I had like basic respect for people. That I don't insult them when I see them when I say them good morning or good evening, right? That I this basic respect for a human being. But if you want to be respected more, it's something that needs to be earned. You're not gonna be fucking respected just because you are born. You're not a girl, you're not a child, you're not an animal. And again, it all comes down to you being a man. If you want to be respected more, you have to be the best version of yourself and a high quality person. And the person who influences others to become the best. Like me, for example. I'm an influencer. I influence you to be the best. Respect is earned. You have to earn respect. If you want to be respected, fucking go gym, eat clean, do your things, you know, work on your business, fucking all those self-improvement things.
Okay.
Basic, if you want to have basic
Okay.
respect, you can generally close this video off. But if you
Respect, if you want other people to respect you, first you should respect yourself. And how do you respect yourself? Take care of yourself. Take care of your image, take care of your character. Build a character that people like, that women like, that everybody likes, even children. Be humane, be humble. And you know, help other people if you want to earn respect. Respect yourself first. Build your character. A character that people cannot argue with when it comes to credibility. If you want people to respect you, you should respect yourself first. And I learned that the hard way. I really did. Because I was a pushover for most of my teenage life. And now I'm turning 20 this year. And I have learned a lot in my teenage years. And I'm glad to learn a lot in my teenage years. And I'm glad to have a friend like you from Poland. Let's continue.
want to genuine, like the respect of people in general, like the respect when people are looking at.
And by the way, my storage ran out of my phone, so your video is going to be paused. Great video by my buddy Krystian. I'm blessed to react to your videos. And again, I give you a challenge. Make a video about me, the things you like about me and the things you don't. If you don't want to make a video about me, that's fine. Just, you know, I think it would be a good step towards our friendship, because I've been making videos about your channel for a long time. And I really want to see what your opinion is about me, because, well, most of the people I talk to here in my own home country do not even understand what I'm trying to say. So I think it would be a good step towards friendship if you make a video about me and what you think about me as a person. And, well, if you want to make a video about me, go ahead. If you don't want to make a video about me, that's fine. My name is Jinnah, by the way, as I told you before. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, my dude, and keep the grind. The grind never stops. Peace out.